So hello everybody and welcome back to another live stream, and we're back with another stream finally after a good long time. This time with F1 CRR Cockpit Real Racing for the Classics Championship it is. It's going to be absolutely amazing, that's for sure. It's for Season 3 with them. It's round 1 here at the United States Grand Prix. It's of course going to be twice a week, Friday and Tuesday. Twice in front of your screens, and one man has already crashed out there just into the qualifying session we were, and there is one crash already, and that is Mr. Creco that has ruined his qualifying before it even begun. He's spiced up things and he's out of the session already as we're just into the Grand Prix qualifying session, and he's ended it before it even begun, before he could have even started the flying lap. He's put it in the wall. That is absolutely disaster for the driver. Let's have a look at it as we're going to try and have the details on for these drivers. Telemetry, enable, lap data, track map, and invalidating lap for Chris Neifer. Chris Neifer was in fact your Season 2 champion. No Sebo finished second to him, with Dario finishing third. I don't see that driver in this session though. I wonder if they are here or not, but I'm sure it's going to be exciting. Is the stream on? If anybody's watching, could tell me if the stream is working good or not, because we definitely need that information. In a minute I'll just have a look at it as we're waiting on all these drivers exiting the pit lane and starting their flying laps, as we are now going to try and go out with a certain pen at the moment. As it stands, it is everyone out there trying to do their flying laps, trying to start their flying laps, get on with it and have some fun around the track, which of course everybody's been trying to have. It's going to be very exciting as soon as we have the flying laps starting with these guys. If you're enjoying the stream, make sure, if you're new around here, do follow. Very, very exciting as soon as we're into the qualifying session. Drivers starting their flying laps already. Lap times are seeing on board, but those are the AI, of course. That is not real drivers. But we're going to have a look at anybody who's on a flying lap and a real driver, and of course that is Mr. Chris Neifer is one of them. It's going to be very, very exciting as soon as we have these guys putting up their lap times on. It is No Sebo currently on a flying lap as well. Everybody now trying to go as quick as they can for a flyer and enjoy it as soon with these cars. Amazing. Also, as I didn't finish up with the information, as it is these C2 cars on the F1 2020 Classic cars. It is from 1998 to 1991. In between that, every car, and there's a yellow flag already. I wonder who is that? Maybe someone's crashed, maybe not. But we're going to try and find someone who would be closer to that final finish line, and it will be No Sebo, who at the moment, I'm trying to find him. He's only P7 though, but one quickest of the drivers that have put a lap time. But Chris is even more quicker. Chris Neifer has put a lap time of 1:47.3, and don't think anybody's going to catch the guy really. Fantastically, he's done absolutely amazing already, and that is going to be pretty interesting to see what others could do. What No Sebo only P7 even of the AI, but Mr. Creco already out of the session, and there goes Certain with a lap time of 1:50.8 goes P2. I'm sure it's going to be amazing as soon as we are into the ending parts of the session for these drivers to do a lap time. So I think there are 5 drivers in this session so far, and it's going to be amazing as we have all of them on the track trying to do a lap time one after the other. I'm going to try and get on with it. No assist. He's far away. He's on a flying lap though, but he's far away from the other drivers. So it is 4 drivers now currently in the qualifying session at the moment, along with Neifer, Pena, and No Sebo, and no assists with Mr. Creco having crashed out. That doesn't matter at all. But I'm sure it's going to be very exciting very, very soon as we have all the things fine. Chris Neifer, actually, he won the Season 2 championship. He won the round 1 of the Season 2 championship as well. He's currently got the quickest time in the session, and I wonder if someone's trying to improve at the moment. No Sebo currently going around the circuit, but I wonder, he is improving massively. I wonder if he's going to go into the pits or go on to improve. It's massive clouds out there as well. Might see some rain or might not. And across that final corner it is going to be No Sebo currently P8 in the timing chart. And across that finish line that is going to be P2 for him as he goes P2 with a lap time of 1:49.2. That is amazing as he just goes ahead of Certain Penna, but even no assist now goes ahead of him as well. He's currently last of the running drivers at the moment in P4. But I'm sure he's got to find a lot of improvements and many improvements as well. That is going to be very amazing as we will see these guys even closer in the later parts and in the race as well. It will be absolutely amazing as it is Knifer at the moment. Quickest, he's out on the track once again. There is a driver closer to that finish line, but I wonder who it is. The 4 drivers we are in sequence now from P1 to P4. It's going to be nice to see. So P5 would go to Mr. Creco, though he would be starting only in P5 at the moment. We'll see how it stands. It would be amazing to get these guys. There's 9 minutes now remaining, 9.5 minutes remaining in this qualifying session, which is going to be amazing. How's the stream quality though? Do let me know. I think the screen's not covering the whole game. Make sure you let me try and fix that if that's fixable. Does something happen with it? At the moment now again, Chris on a flying lap actually. He did start his flying lap, but is he going to be on an improving lap across that finish line? He goes almost nearly by a second, not a second, but at least 6 to 7 tenths he goes quicker by, 3 to 4 tenths he goes quicker by. I think it was 1:47.3 or something, and it is 1:46.7. He's already invalidated his lap, but that is another one, but that is probably going to be an in-lap as well. And no assists, is just moving around to go into the pits at the moment, and everybody, in fact, the only driver out on the track at the moment is Chris himself. He's invalidating his lap, but he is the quickest man out there at the moment. Is anybody going to be able to catch him? Not sure though. We'll see how it stands for it. The 8.5 minutes remaining in the session, and only one driver at the moment in the qualifying session. And I'm sure it's going to be amazing as soon as we get that ending part. And just 8 minutes remaining. Chris doesn't seem to be catchable. He doesn't seem that anybody's going to catch him or anybody is going to come closer to him. It's going to be absolutely amazing as we get everybody out once again. They're going to go in. They're going to fit the new tires. They're going to fit the fresher rubber. That's going to help them get faster. That's going to help them go very quicker as Certan's back out on the track. So everybody running the McLaren of 1991, which of course you're only allowed to use the C2 cars from 98 to 91 in this session so far. Not so far, but for the remainder of this weekend, it's of course going to be 7 minutes remaining in this qualifying session. It was short qualifying, and then straight off it is the 50% race here around the United States Grand Prix. Is going to be US Grand Prix. It is Austin, of course. At Austin nowadays it is Miami and Las Vegas, but actually the only game that this was the only track back then, so no new tracks added in F1 2020. Of course, as back then there was nothing like Las Vegas or even Miami back then in 2020. In fact, the whole calendar wasn't played in the real life season, but sure, in the game it does not matter. You can have it around and enjoy it as you're just waiting on drivers now on their flying laps as Knifer and No Assist have went into the pits. In fact, I don't think No Assist came out. Knifer has went into the pits as it's 6.5 minutes now remaining. Everybody's going to try and fit their brand new tyres with Chris Knifer having done 3 laps on it He just went back into the pits. But no, Sebo currently just gets fresh tyres. The other 3 drivers have got fresh tyres, and Certain Perez now went into the wall. I don't know what really happened, but on the exit, he's just put it in the wall, and that is going to be him out of the session. That was definitely going to be a lot of improvement to find for him. He was nearly 7/10 slower than Noah Sisson P3 and far away from the pole position, but he's crashed already. We've already had 2 drivers crash out of the qualifying session in this session. There were 5, and then now there is 3. That is disaster. With just 5.5 minutes remaining, in fact 6 minutes almost remain. But the 2 now, no Seppo or no assist, possibly as close as we can get, might be between no Seppo and no assist. Actually, Chris Neifer is going to chill in what in first place is nearly 3 seconds, at least 2.5 seconds quicker than the driver in P2, so absolutely he's clear, way ahead of his way, and we're gonna hope that no more crashes, no more unnecessary crashes as well. So as soon as it gets going in the ending parts of qualifying, it's gonna be even more better. But I don't think there will be any cuttings to the pole man, to Chris, to the man, the myth. He's got the championship to his name last year. If I'm not wrong, he might have had it the year before as well, but I'm not sure if he did. So not the year before, but the season before, I shall say. It's pretty interesting as it stands, and there you go. Both the drivers have started their flying laps pretty soon without any worries. They've got onto starting. Neifer's currently sitting in the pit lane. I mean, he knows no one's going to catch him. He knows no one's going to really be closer to him. So he's just sitting out there in the pit lane at the moment. He might come towards the very ending minutes, but as it stands, he doesn't need to anyways, as both the 2 drivers, no Sebo and no assist, currently out on track with some performance. As it stands, it is 4 minutes now remaining in this session. It is the man No Sebo currently just ahead of no assist, not only out on track but out in the timing sheets as well. I'm sure it's going to be amazing where it begins, and we go racing very soon. 50% race around this circuit. It's going to be amazing, and that's for sure. As the qualifying session starts, there'll be more cars in the race, of course, as it'll be not crashing, unless they crash though, because if they do crash, then there would not be much action to focus on, but I'm sure there will be a lot of it, and too much of it. As we're into the racing session, that'll be amazing to go around, and there we go, across that line. That is going to be 149.7. What about no assist? And he's just coming across that final corner. Is he going to find enough improvements to go even quicker across that line? It is. He does not find any improvements at all. He, in fact, goes 3.5 tenths slower than his previous lap time. But so no Seppo would try and find improvements as well, as we're going to just see him get across that first sector. Across that would be half a tenth down as well. So no, these guys not finding improvements, but I think that was their flying laps, so that is going to be interesting to see what they can do now. Certain has already crashed, and Chris the man is out on track with 2.5 minutes remaining. He's invalidated his out lap, but not the flying one, so that is what matters. Let's see how much this lap matters to him. I think at the moment as it stands, he doesn't even need to go around. He could just take pole from the garage, and he's invalidated the lap, and he's looking like to be going slow already. There, that little slide of the car. These cars are really hard to handle, and that is being shown out there, as he's almost lost it there. We've had 2 crashes. He's got his lap invalidated as well, and he almost crashed out there. But sure, he's not going to stop. He's going to go one more time and get that lap sorted as quick as he can. I'm sure that's going to be meaning to him at least. Looking quite nice for it. 1.5 minutes now remaining in this qualifying session, with just 3 drivers in the session, with 2 having crashed out. Mr. Kriko without even a lap time, so I think he's actually not going to start P5. He might start last, or might start P5 though, but we have some AI drivers in this qualifying as well, but I think he might be starting last and having to overtake the AI as soon, only if he doesn't crash out very soon, because usually I've seen him crash a lot of the times out of these races. But these cars, no doubt though, these cars are very hard to handle. They are pretty much, you need to be practicing them every day. And even Chris, the man who had so much lap time with these, was almost having slides and has invalidated his lap. So is he going to go again? He's going to go very wide on the exit line, but I don't know how the track limits around this circuit, but I'm sure it's going to be amazing, as he's going to just be able to start a flying lap. So will be these guys. Nosep was not improving, at least in the first sector, but how's the middle sector going to be? He's invalidated his lap already, so that doesn't matter. But Noasis is going to try and get better and better. He's almost a second off Nosep, but sure, he's going to try and stay as far away from any danger from behind, which is going to be all the drivers, the AI ones at least, have taken the checkered flag, but not these guys. What are they going to be able to do across that middle sector line? It is going to be for Noah. Is he going to find any improvements? He is not going to find any improvements at all. He's finding total 0. But Knifer is finding even more improvements. This is your driver to look at. This is your man to look at. Remember, he won the round 1 in Australia back in Season 2, and he's going to be able to do it again. And this Noseb was already coming into the pits, finding no improvements at all. But this man needs improvement. He surely is far away from P4, but the driver's crashed and he goes far off the track, but that doesn't invalidate his lap. He called for corner cutting is, in fact, I think, strict, but F1 2020 might be different. And across that finish line, he's just going to crash it out on purpose to end the session and having to retire, as Chris Knifer, and now he spins as well, has a little spin and might want to retire from the session as well, so we can get into the race session very, very soon. If you're new around here, make sure to follow and join our Discord server if you're looking to race with us as well. Just the next round we have on Tuesday coming up on 20th of August. So it'll be very exciting. You could join these guys on the grid. That is going to only spice things up, that's for sure. And now he's going to go into the pits. He's sliding out there, just maybe trying to do some donuts. That is absolutely amazing, actually. So we're just going to go. That's it for the qualifying session. We should be heading into the race very, very soon, as that's it now. Every single driver has taken the checkered flag out. That's it. The end of the qualifying session. It is Knifer out on top with a lap time of 1:46.7. He did a lap time. In the end, it didn't even matter, or he didn't need to improve at all. But sure, he would like to stay competitive and stay cautious in the race, because sure, he would need to do that to take victory quite easily. He might do it easily though, because we've seen him a lot of the times do that. But it's going to be amazing and awesome, to say the least, into the race as well. I wonder if we are just going to begin, or there will be a little bit of a break before the race starts. I think we might just be starting right away. Have any indication or anything on Discord that about a break, but I think there might be a few minutes before everybody prepares, before everybody is ready to roar out on this track. I was going to say circuit, streets of America, but that isn't going to happen. This isn't a street. This is the game itself. Oh, sorry, the track itself, the Austin Grand Prix. If we're going to be catching some break at all, so definitely we'll be waiting for everybody else to join as well, join the session into the race. Might be some settings done because Kriko, of course, did not qualify at all, didn't set a time, but there are a lot of other AI drivers out there as well, so it might be the setting to just push him out and pull him in as quicker as near the front of the field as possible, because sure that's going to help for him, and they would want that, definitely would want that as well. So we're going to try and get things fixed as soon as possible, I think. We have the indication finally that is going to see us get into the race session and begin the race start here for the classic cars and these amazing engine sounds to see. And that is going to be 3, 2, 1. We'll be on your screens with the lights out. Action we go. All 4 McLarens at the front of the grid. Across that finish, the 5 red lights, and we go. And that would be the formation lap, I believe. Don't fault me though, I think, yeah, in the recent times I've not had any formation laps. So 4 drivers are at the start. Kriko isn't getting a head start. That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if there are 4 drivers in the session or 15. You have to be ahead of the AI. You can't be behind the AI drivers. If you are, you'll have to do some work and get going into the Grand Prix. As it stands, we're just going to see... of course, it's only dry tires, so that doesn't matter if we're going to see if we're going to see the tire details. But sure, we are going to see how many laps they've done. And now Kriko's trying to overtake the AI drivers, but I'm not sure that you could do that without any penalties or so. He's going to try and do that. You in fact can't. Ooh, he's almost bumping into them. Look how he's driving, even on the formation lap. It's pretty insane to say that he did in fact crash in the qualifying session, but even on the formation lap, he's almost bumping into the drivers ahead. That is, of course, an alarming sign for him, having to do 28 laps around this circuit, which is going to be a lot. It's going to be definitely a lot to ponder, a lot to manage and to do, in fact. Let me try and fix this. I think the screen is just full. The full screen is not showing on the stream, if I'm not wrong. There's just absolutely something wrong with it. We'll try and fix it. Hopefully, if we can, because absolutely we want to be fixing that. I wonder if it's okay now, but then we're not going to see any of the... Okay, there we go. I wonder if my mic was open or not. So it's on the formation lap, so we're not really focused on that. Rather, try and fix the stream so we know how it is showing up around, because definitely we want to be showing the best on the screen on-screen display, but without missing any action out on track. Though we're going to see if it's showing everything out there and not missing out on any of the drivers or any other information out on the stream. I see how it is. I think it's all good now. Hopefully it's all good now, because some things sometimes are here and there, but soon we would be getting... And there we go. It is fine though. Hopefully it's going to be all good. We're seeing everything out on the screen and on the stream as well. And now that little part isn't cut off in the stream, I'm hoping for that. As we're just now would be 5 red lights for the 28 laps of the United States Grand Prix. Chris Knight, the man who's going to start out on pole. We're going to be on board with the driver for 5 red lights, and we go racing in the United States of America. And that's going to be a great start for No Seppa, already into turn 1. He's looking to take the lead. So is Certain, and Noah's is falling behind. The AI drivers there. That is going to be Certain falling far behind. And now the race leader is having to fight Esto Asari, the AI driver that is going to be. I'm sure it's going to be very interesting as we into the S as we go. It is driver, and I think there is a spin, and that is one of the... that is in fact no assist. He's almost crashed out. He's had a huge spin just at the moment as we are into the racing action, and he's at a far bad accident. Definitely not that bad though. Is he going to trigger a safety car? I don't think so. He's had a huge accident. At least that's going to save Mr. Creco. Promoted far up the grid, only 2 positions, and that is one problem, and the other, and there is a huge dive from I think one of the drivers. These 3 are going to give it everything. It's going to be the AI is on its own in the race lead, but these 3 drivers are going to be in their own league. No Seba really giving the hard time to Chris Niver already on the race start. Sure, in qualifying session there was no match of him, but in the race it might be. We're surely seeing that Chris was going to win it easily, but for how long is Seba going to be able to defend? Is he really going to be able to do something that we're hoping him to do? We're hoping to see some new drivers. He, in fact, I think he did finish he did actually finish first in the final race of the season 2 round. That was in Monza, which Monza would actually be the 3rd round of this year's championship, which is going to be as exciting as we are. The action is now pumping us out down, and is he going to go into the pits? Has he went into the pits? He's not even reached that far I think yet, which is the reason he's not. He might have not pitted yet, and now we're going to see the race lead change maybe from Serton to Sebo, and there is Chris already into the race lead. He's in fact not in the race lead I think, or he might be, but as it stands it shows. Oh, there you go, he's just behind the AI car, and then it is no Sebo in 2nd place, and it is Serton into turn 3 to the S as we're going, and he's going to get overtaken by AI driver, and that is the same McLaren he's going to get overtaken by, and into 4th place he's going to fall. The top 2 in their own as No Assist is finally in the pits. His team is going to prepare a new front wing for him and some new tyres as well. He definitely would have needed that. What about Mr. Creco? Is he going to get some improvements? He is not at the moment. He's still stuck in P14. He's not been able to overtake these guys, but I'm sure he's trying his best to get things around. But the top 3, No Assist already out. Definitely he's not in 1st place. It is this man, Chris Niver, currently in 1st place. He's finally getting ahead of I think this is Williams, if I'm not wrong, this car, but he's out of ahead of that AI driver finally. That was just having some issues with these guys, but Serton currently 5th place. He's falling behind I think with that AI in between these guys, but now these guys are very, very close. They're going to try and overtake him. Serton goes on the inside line of Istu Asari, and that was very close between the 2. They almost would have crashed. Now they're going to go wheel to wheel, and he's going to overtake him very easily, but going into the corner he almost tried and dive bombed it, because then he was going to lose a lot of time ahead on No Sebo if he did not try and overtake him. He goes very, very light now. He's definitely not looking focused at the moment. Going left and right as Nifer puts the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, as finally Mr. Creco puts a move that's going to see him get ahead of one of these drivers into P12 now, finally making some progress, but progress one man would like to make would be certain. Sure, he qualifies P4, but he might be happy with this at the moment in P3. No assist. I wonder where he is. He's currently in last place, over 24 seconds behind these guys. As soon as the front runners make pit stops, he might be there in the contention, but not at the moment as it stands, because that would have been disastrous considering he had a massive incident but almost saved it. So that's good for him though, and we are going to try and be focused with these guys at the moment, because these are providing us most action we can, at least from the remaining cars at the moment. We can see if we can go out and have a look at Mr. Creco, who's going to try and from P16 to P11. Definitely No Assist's position was free, but after that he's had to do his work. He's had to do his running up and running performance. And he's going to try and do what he can as it stands. And all around the outside, he's going to almost having to fight these AIs around the outside of the 7-Up car. He's going to go. That was 1991 Michael Schumacher's Jordan car. He's going to go around and get into P10, into the point scoring positions now. That's definitely a good race for him, though, considering he's crashed out in qualifying, and pretty bad it was. The race leader currently 4.9 seconds ahead. He won the first round of the Season 2 championship by a far long time as well. I remember that. Actually, I started my commentary doing with these guys, but back then I didn't have my own channel, either on Twitch or on YouTube, to start posting videos or live streams. But now we do, and it's amazing so far. So far, so good it's going. Serton's following behind. No Sebo is having that pressure. Of course, these old cars having no DRS. That was only actually available in 2011. Before that, there was no thing as rank reduction system. There was curse, but that was a different thing than DRS. And I'm sure it's going to be amazing as we have these guys. Surely some strategic things as well. 5.7 seconds to the leader is No Sebo, and right behind Serton about 7/10. He's having a look at it. He's trying his best, but not so good so far. I think he's decent enough though. He's ahead of the cars behind, but if there was DRS, that would have helped him a lot. But of course, without it, it's not that helpful. And 34 seconds, he's following even more behind. I wonder if he's pitted again, because that's what looks like to me. And he hasn't actually. He's done one lap on the tires, and it shows one stop to him. But that is something strange, because he's 33 seconds, or either he's made a mistake. That could be the case. He might have just made another mistake around the circuit that would have caused this to happen, because he was about 24 seconds behind the driver in front. But he's following even more behind. These guys having their final little battle. What about Rico then? Is he going to try and make some progress? He's trying his best though on the inside line of the Ferrari. He goes, he makes contact with the car and banging wheels now there. That is really interesting to see. Gilles is going to do everything with the Ferrari to try and defend against the McLaren, but is he going to be able to do that? Not so far. But he's not leading him behind. He's not leaving him behind at all. The Ferrari's not leaving Mr. Krico behind as well. He's giving it everything. He's fighting it out there. He's really having a race of his own. They're just switching positions again and again, and on the straights, he's going to be even more. We're going to see these guys. 7 seconds, the leader is far away from second place. Chris is going to dominate, just like he dominates every race we've seen around here. He won the driver's title last season. He's looking to win this race. Only on lap 5 though, because sometimes drivers do crash. And I remember one of the biggest competitor of Chris back in season 2 crashed within a few laps. And I'm sure we needed that guy around here as well. But that doesn't matter. We're going to try and get the action round, as Krico is having his lap time, having his fair share of battles with these cars around him, and that is P9 for him at the moment, 4.2 seconds. But is he going to be quick enough to get something around? But I'm sure he's going to get some points though. If he's finishing within the top 10, he's going to get some points to himself, and he's going to get some points that in the championship he would absolutely need. And around the outside, Alex Murray. In fact, that's not Alex Murray, that is Jay. Going to try to make a move on the McLaren out of Korea. But we're going to get back on these guys, the leaders, the top 3 of the race that are in their own. No assist, I think, would have been actually the most competitive. I think No Sebo was actually more competitive to Chris actually at the race start. Remember, he starts second place and he jumped Chris. Chris didn't have a good getaway at all, but he's recovered well. He's recovered into the far away jungles. He's all while ahead of the No Sebo in second place, 7.7 seconds. And now No Sebo is also doing a really good race. He's almost a second. He's about a second ahead of Serton as well, here and there. Just within a second it is. But with these cars having no DRS, no ERS, it's all raw performance and raw pace with these. That shows what help you could get with the AI. Sorry, I mean with the ERS and stuff. But that doesn't happen around here. That is, of course, going to be... We were going to check the leaders' gaps at 7.8 seconds. And so no assist, currently a minute behind. That is embarrassing, really. A minute behind the leaders, as Krico has now received a penalty for multiple warnings. That might have been because of that corner cutting, maybe. That might have been because of the corner cutting. Or either he might have banged wheels as well. We saw him bang wheel with the drivers. We saw him even banging wheels with some of the AI drivers. That definitely, the game would have not liked that at all. Excuse me though, I'm just having to sneeze a little around. But on to lap 6 out of 28. The man that doesn't need anything, but one man who might need something would be no assist. He's had many incidents today, and his gap at the pits, outside of the pits, was 24 seconds. And then he brought it down into 20 seconds to the car ahead. And now it's going to be again 30 seconds plus. That is going to be disastrous race for him. He qualified P3, and then only at the race start into the S as we were going with all the cars around, he made a mistake, which definitely was not going to be good. Made a pit stop, making the progress, and he's again going to need a new front wing, otherwise he's just useless. At the moment he is useless though, currently in 16th place, not doing much at all, making mistakes again and again. I know these cars are not easy to drive, but look at Kriko. He crashed in qualifying and he's been smooth and fine in the race so far. He's had his penalty though, but I think that was definitely rightly deserved. But after that, he's fine. He's currently in P9 at the moment, as we're going to get to the top 3 once again. And now even Noseb was pulled away far away, but now this is interesting to see that Noseba also might have made a mistake though out on track. We seem to miss that. Asertin is currently in 2nd place. Remember, he was far ahead, far behind, almost a second behind of Noseba. We didn't focus on that much. We might need to focus on that. There's a lockup for him, Asertin. That is definitely not going to help him at all. But that is going to be very interesting as it stands. That is currently P2 for him. Sebo falling behind. Drivers making mistakes. These cars, remember, even Certain in qualifying crashed as well. These cars are just very hard to drive without any assist if you're driving. And sure, that hit him. Also, this championship is cockpit mode, so you cannot drive from any onboard or any other cameras. You have to be in that cockpit camera to drive. So all 28 laps of the Grand Prix, as well as in the qualifying session as well. 4.7 seconds. Is he going to gain anything on Sebo? On Certain Sebo? He's going to surely try to, but not make any mistakes as well, which hurt him. Is from P2. He's P2, made it P3. Certain, I think, had about 5 to 6 podiums last season. That helped him finish Let me check. That did help him finish P4 in the driver's title. But sure, he's going to need it today as well. That 2nd place is fantastic. That he would definitely love. And he's currently far ahead of Nosebo and enjoying that start, enjoying that race. Mr. Kriko, 1.9 seconds, has brought that gap of over 5 seconds to 1.9 now. 1.6 almost. He's really doing good against the AI at least. It's going to be interesting to get things around for other drivers as well. We're only on lap 8 though, out of 28. It is Chris Neifer with the quickest lap time at the moment. I know he's had a fastest lap a little before, but I'm sure no one's going to come near him really, or have a better lap time really than him. That's how confident I am. The man that doesn't really have competition around here, but I'm sure he would love some. We have the telemetry data enabled with the race leader and with the beast of this Classics Championship. And across that finish line, is he going to go even more quickly? In fact, will not, though he's about 4.5, a few cents slower. But Certain now 4.6 seconds. He's gaining and losing some time around the track against Noseboda. But I think it's still interesting to see how it stands with Nosebo so far. 4.5 seconds. I think he's now just going to wait for a mistake, really. I think he is going to be trying everything he can, but we'll see how it is going to go with Sebo trying to overtake Certain. That mistake that he made, the place that he lost the position that was vital, the position that was crucial for the race. Sure, the podiums in there might going to be easy nowadays with not much competition, but sure, they would need it. That is for sure. As it stands, we're on lap 9 out of 28. If you are new around here, make sure to follow, not only right now, but very, very soon out on the circuit, on Wednesday, on Tuesday I think it'll be, on 20th of August, that'll be to do a race and have a fun around, which is going to be amazing very soon. That is going to come, as well as we're on Friday right now, just in a bit. It's going to be Tuesday, not in bits, but sure in days, but that is expected to have more drivers, that is expected to have more attendance, which is going to be even more amazing for the sake of racing. As it stands, actually it used to be not a lot of people around here, but I was used to, but I've done now almost full grid at some points on F1 23 and 4, and Knife for now looking to even go more quicker. I think he went fastest in the final sector. He's still slowest to his fastest lap, and 3.3 seconds. Look, that's what I was saying. And now Noah is currently having to pit again. He's pitted it multiple times. That's not good. Krico going to try and make moves, and there's going to be movings from him even more up the order. He might put himself P4. That's his best chance, considering his pace, though. So far, he's been amazing, actually, no doubt, though. At least against the AI, but if he's able to get closer to No Sebo, who's now very closer to certain. 3.5 seconds, though. Not still very close, but still close enough for a decent chunk of the race. His position that he lost, and 19 seconds now to the leader, only on lap 10 now, still 18 laps. Excluding this one, if you include this one, that is 19 laps to the race ending. We don't want, but sure, we will need to be, we will get around there. So that is going to be, as it stands, that will be Certain currently in P2, and that the gap is sinking lap after lap. Certain would be looking into his mirrors, would be having his heartbeat bumping, would be having his heart going up, and definitely something that he would not. And he locks up again in that pressure. The pressure is already getting to him. He locks up. He locked up on that corner once before, but does it again. And surely that pressure is going to make him make mistakes, make duels. We don't want that, but there is going to be, and there's another mistake, and that might be Krico, and that is Krico. In fact, does he have any damage? Not, at least not visible. After making that progress in P8, he's now again falling. That is just typical Krico, though. I can tell you that much. As the gap now between these two, it is 3.4 seconds. It's increasing, in fact. Maybe Sebo might have had a little bit of incident. Not an incident, though. He might just be being a little slower on an exit of a corner. That is going to see him get a lot slower, but sure, he wants to be closer. And I think by the end of the race, remember that gap was almost about 4.5 seconds. He's bringing it down, and if he's able to keep these tires alive, if he's able to keep these tires to their window and best in that temperature as well, he's going to be able to catch them very soon. But Certain might just snatch that podium, though, staying in P3. He has a great racing suit, though, some Galaxy on it. As it stands, P1 for Chris, though. The man has dominated from start this race. Might dominate from the finish as well, from to the end as well, which it is looking like, though. The absolute amazing. And again, Krico now pit sure again. That mistake that is going to just worsen his progress, and no assist is going to be far away. He's not going to be even get ahead of Krico at the moment. And 3.7 seconds, the gap is coming down, but that gap might have increased now. Yes, Certain might have just into Ayrton. Certain Penna might have just turned into Ayrton Senna. As it stands, 3.2 seconds. He's losing the gap. As I just said that. Corner to corner, one gets it better than the other, and here and there that turns around. But sure, we'll see what is going to go around that amazing helicopter shot we're seeing. And now Kriko's even losing positions to these guys. He's just trying to fight them out. He's making mistakes. Not mistakes, but contact with these guys. That is hilarious, though. But sure, he's trying his best around the circuit. But he made all that progress in P8, another mistake, and I think he's now closer to his best chance now is to probably slow down and wait for no assist to get there, so they can have their little own battle, I think, at the moment, as it stands, though. But the gap is shrinking and coming down and down again from over 4.5 seconds to 2.7 seconds. If we see a little time gain by Seraton, no Sebo's just sitting around there. But that doesn't mean he's not going to try and get the overtake done before the end of the race. We're only on lap 12, though. Still 2 more laps before we could be halfway distance as it stands. 2.6 seconds. The gap is shrinking and shrinking very, very early. 2.4 seconds now, though. He's not gaining like over seconds per lap, but sure a lot per lap, and that is interesting. In fact, they have their own academy as well. Chris, you could see, becoming the coach and coaching drivers that want to be improving, that's for sure. As you can already see, he's out about 20 seconds, 21 seconds ahead of the field. The guys behind are not that bad as well. They are pretty decent, but sure, they are... interesting to get around. It's P3 at the moment for Sebo, the 1.8 seconds. 1.8 seconds the gap. In fact, it is shrinking and shrinking again and again. That is going down and down. That is absolutely in an unwanted way for Seraton, but sure in a very, very happy way for no Sebo. That is 1 point. Is he going to make the move? And what is happening out there? Has Chris made the mistake? We did not see that at all, as Seraton has went into the race lead. That is pretty interesting. We just move around for a little bit, and Chris might have just made it interesting for himself there. I think it's interesting to see what has happened out there. We just saw Chris out there trying to get past into turn 1, and Seraton has overtaken him. Anytime there is no action going on, we move away, but we have to join very soon, and that is very interesting now. Seraton into the race lead, and no Sebo might now find it hard to overtake Chris as well, or Chris is just going to give up the position. I'm sure he doesn't want to give up the position. He never will on his own, ever in racing. No one will. But that is very, very interesting now. The battle is going to get better. The battle is going to get interesting. As now, Sebo is going to try and get, but he's already 1.4 seconds behind the top 2, and already Chris just within half a second of Seraton there. He might try and move a little, have a little cheeky dive bomb, but I don't think he will though. But sure, he would like to be there and have it interesting and have it around. And he's going to try and make a move very, very soon. We were just going to have to wait. Very makes that move, though. He's going to try and make that, that's for sure, very, very soon. And very early. But not early, but sure, as soon as he can. He's currently Chris Knife for the man leading the race by over 20 seconds. Has lost it all. And now he's going to go into the pits. Oh, that's the case. That's the case. We seem to miss it out, actually. I've been not in that classics because it is dry as all the tires, so it's not soft, medium or hard, so that we don't have the data. So Chris had pitted, which was the reason he goes into the race lead once again, but Seraton has kept his position, which might have been not his. That definitely Chris pit stop has helped Seraton, though. He's managed to get out now ahead of no Sebo, who was trying to catch Seraton very, very soon, and the gap was less than 2 seconds in the ending moment, but that has helped him around to try and fight with Chris, has helped him maintain his second place. gets amazing. 1.3 seconds there is. That is very amazing for the time being as it stands. It is 1.3 seconds, just less than a second in fact for these two now. It is now going to be again heartbeat pumping for certain. He was saved by Chris on the previous lap, but for who is he going to be saved by this time? He might not be saved by anyone, but surely that little holding has helped, as it is 18 seconds. Oh, there you go, very, very wide. He goes so wide, there's no Sebo almost. I wonder if that was no Sebo or it was someone else, because I saw him go very wide though. Chris now on brand new tires goes even more quicker. Sure, his things, he is not stopping. He is non-stopping. That is absolutely amazing. And now it is 1 second again. Certain's just finding that little bit somewhere around the lap that is keeping him just ahead of Nosebo for the time being. But I'm sure it's going to be only moments before Nosebo is able to make that move. As that now seems interesting, as Kriko still in P14. He of course made all that progress, but it lost it behind after a mistake that seen him fall behind very dramatically, and no assist. Made a few mistakes, more than one, twice or thrice. He might have done it many times, and that has definitely seen him fall behind and fall behind the grid, which definitely didn't help at all, that's for sure. This gap that we've been waiting for the whole race. We've been waiting for this, and that is coming down to this now. It is very, very close, just less than half a second now between these two. Is Seba going to go for that move? He does have a look at the inside line, but has to back it out there. He's not able to do that. Certain has a little moment there and a lockup out there, but sure, this is going to be very interesting, and I'm expecting a cheeky battle between these two. And that is now again half a second in some parts of the track. Certain just seems to be a little bit quicker, but is he going to be quick enough? Is he going to be really enough out there, have enough in his pace, in his car? There's of course both of them on brand new tires, but are they really? Is the pace brand new? Certain going to be looking to defend very, very hard. Nosebo doesn't go for the move around here, but he might be able to do so. I think a mistake from Certain he would be waiting for, and that mistake could prove handy for Sebo, I think, but we'll see what it stands. I think Sebo might have made a mistake as well, having seen Certain get ahead of him by over 4.5 seconds. That definitely has made this race even more interesting, as we have these two fight it out pretty insanely. Now on lap 16 out of 28, so we've just got about 12 laps to the end of the Grand Prix, and now again we are back to that same part and that same main straight. It is actually a DRS straight, but no DRS with these cars. And now Sebo's going to try and pick up that slipstream, trying to get any quicker, any better he can with that help of that slipstream. Certain moving to the outside, to the inside. Is he going to be able to defend? He is just able to hand it off, and now he's almost bumped into the back of Certain. No Sebo out on the entry, on the braking in that corner. Certain locked up, and he almost would have went there into him, and now that is very, very handy between the two. Certain looking to defend. Still, he's trying very hard to defend though. Definitely, I mean, no DRS and ERS is helping at least the driver ahead. It's a pretty hard overtaking without it. He would have done it many laps earlier, but it might be the time now. The gap is less than a second, just within half a second, but he's just not quick enough. He's just not been able to do that. I think that is actually interesting to say though, actually, as I was saying, that Certain is just enough quick around some parts of the circuit that might have been proving right, though, for time being as it stands, because that is definitely what he wants at the moment, because... Oh, gosh. Wait. There we go, he goes back into the action again. No Sebo just a little quicker to his time. And is it a mistake from no assist? Without a worries, I mean... Another mistake from him. He's had about 3 to 4 incidents. I remember he was just a little better. You know, remember he did finish... he did not, actually. He did finish 5th, though, in the Drivers' Championship. In the last season, he finished P5 in the championship, in the drivers. But sure, that again, he again now goes with a 5-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags. He gets a penalty as well. His race is done before it even begun. But Kriko's having those nice moments. But we're not really going to focus on that, because this battle is interesting. But no Seppo has got that penalty. That is, in fact, no Seppo getting the penalty, actually. That wasn't... I thought that was a no assist, but that was no assist. And it is very interesting. 5 seconds to no Sebo. So, as long as Certain is able to stay within 5 seconds of no Sebo, even if he is out, even after he's overtaken. So that is very interesting to go around for these two to go once more. That is going to be, there is another McLaren out there, but I think that might have been the lapped one, and that is of no assist. He went very wide into the one before the final corner as well. Very wide out there. And I think that is, he should have been fighting with these guys, being out there in P4, but he's in P16 at the moment. They might try and unlap him, and now that we're on lap 18 out of 28, 18 laps, 10 laps now remaining in this Grand Prix, and again the gap is less than half a second, and that is phenomenal. That is very close. That is absolutely amazing. The battle that was becoming delusional, the battle that was repeating everything after lap after lap. That usually happens in real life Formula 1 as well. The drivers, the teams, and the drivers having to repeat out after each other of even with DRS sometimes in those DRS trains. But around here, this time might be the moment for No Sebo. Is he going to go down the inside line of him? Is he going to try and make that move around here? He's far away though. But I think in that moment, he's just going to hope that some mistake from Certain happens. That happens to give him some position. That happens to give him some progress. And Mr. Kriko now currently in P11. He made mistakes, but he's recovering well though. He's at least not far behind the AI drivers. I think No Assist is doing everything to stay close, but he's making mistakes again and again. I think he's really, he's not the too bad of a driver though. He's just not had many, he's just not at this race to his likings. So 26 seconds now, Chris Knifer in the lead. We haven't even heard of this man long enough though. He's really out there in between, and there was the car of the lapped car getting out of the way. I thought there was one of these guys going very wide. That was a bit of a jump scare, at least for us watching. That is going to be amazing. It is lap 19 out of 28. Not many laps before we get to the end of the Grand Prix now. But sure, before we get to the end, I think No Sebo at the moment is just staying behind. There is no DRS though, and he gets No Sebo gets a penalty though. And he's what? I'm sorry, but how did that happen? I just haven't been able to witness any overtakes, and already now we've seen Certain get overtaken by No Sebo, and we seem to miss that again. Honestly, either I'm having not seen anything out there as Sebo is now moving left and right to break that toe, break that slipstream. He's just been able to within a half a second. He's just overtaken Certain once again, but that battle might go race long if Certain is able to just do that. I think that was a good battle though, a good one to watch at least for many laps coming, and I think we would definitely want and love for these out to battle it out till the end. This gap already 1.1 seconds but definitely that would be likable. That would be wanted from from all of us watching out there. As it stands, it is no servo. He's just having that little problem though, and that is he's out to lap the leaders even. Chris Knifer now not only lapping the other field, but the top two now are about to be lapped by the race leader. Remember, it was Chris's after the pit stop on this pit exit, that little fight with Certain that helped him stay in second place for as long as he would have wanted. That kept his position out there in the gap. Now already 1.8 seconds. Already he's losing out on a lot of the time. In that first sector, he might be just a little quicker because he's been able to hold in out there. And that is going to be a little bit of a problem we need to fix. There you go around with these guys. Lap 20 out of 28 now. Just 28 laps now remain. 9 laps, including this one remaining. Around 1.7 seconds. 1.9. 1.6 again. That is amazing. I think there might be a little bit of a mistake, or a chance of a mistake from Sebo that could help him stay out there. And now I'm not going to even switch any focus out there away from these guys. Sure, no Sebo doesn't seem to be losing the position though, but he in fact, let's keep that in mind though, he has a 5-second time penalty, so he needs at least 5 seconds in time, which might have Certain might have not fought this for long as well. You know, he has a 5-second penalty, so no Sebo's anyways gonna finish behind him if he's finishing inside those 5 seconds. If he needs to finish take second place and be closer to the leader, he's gonna need to get that, either get the gap over 5 seconds or get that penalty removed by pitting, which of course would see him get even far behind. So that is not the understandable move. And another mistake again. Only this time it is not Mr. It is not Mr. No assist, but Mr. Carrico. I think he's around there, but I don't know if he had made the mistake or not. And Lucas Royd out of the session. I don't think there's a safety car around here though, but even if there is, are we going to get it? It's going to be interesting to see. These guys now 2 seconds the gap. No assists. Now really following. Sorry, no Sebo now. Really giving a hard time to Senna. I think Penna I should say, not Senna. But we'll see how it stands towards the ending part. And again, 1.3 seconds. It's really amazing that these gaps are going better and better, and that definitely he would have wanted him to get out of the way a little earlier into the corner. That might have not been in his best interest, but sure it might be. That lapped car out of Sertan's way, and the gap now 1.3 seconds. He's gaining a lot on it, and now the driver behind that he's lapped already, but wants to be making moves then, but sure he wouldn't want that to happen. 1.6 seconds. This gap might get better or might get worse, or even get better for they might get closer to each other out there as well. That is going to be helping hand for themselves and for Amazing as well. That is going to be, as it is now, lap 22 out of 28. If you're new around here, make sure to follow around. It's going to be every Friday and every Tuesday around here. That is going to be, so it's almost going to be a race every 3 days for all of for this league around, for this Classics Championship. So far the battle 2.1 second. The gap might decrease again in a little bit. I'm sure something would really happen, like as soon as we switch to somewhere and that focus really happens around to be switching out there. But sure, we would want that to happen though, the gap to decrease, something to happen, and another mistake, and that is no assist. And finally, after making countless mistakes in the Grand Prix, he's going to retire out of it after completing 30 laps on those dry tyres. His race is ended, hitting the wall and going out all at it, and that is a virtual safety car. He just caused a safety car out there. I mean, the way he was driving, he just should have retired by going into the pits. But that virtual safety car might help one of these guys. In fact, a full safety car would help even more, but that is going to be interesting still to get things 22 out of 26. I wonder when is the safety car going to, virtual safety car going to end, or did it end? Because I don't see anything out there though, not anything. But I think they are going pretty slow though, but they might not be. We'll only know in a little bit time if we are able to get things around, if we are able to see that, and a little board that basically is there, always there, to see if we are, you know, having on a yellow flag or a green flag. I think as it stands there is no yellow flag, so I don't think this virtual safety car is out there. It is not. It doesn't go to give any indication, but it's a little hard with these menus. They were improved upwards from F1 21. But that penalty, 2.8 seconds though. Certain might be in a little bit of tensions out there. He might not be though. He's still well within 5 seconds. So that is going to guarantee him 5th place. Second place in the race. 5th is far away though. 2nd place in the race. So far we've had 2 retirements. That is Lucas Roth and No Assists. Noah's has made so many mistakes, and definitely one was gonna have to end his race, and that did happen though. He's just ended his Grand Prix, and not in the most wanting way though, but I'm sure it's gonna be amazing, and it's gonna be the battle that we're looking at, the battle we are having to focus on. P2 and P3. What about Mr. Creco though? He's 12 seconds behind actually the driver ahead, Alex Murray, who's quite clear and quite pretty freely running around. And it's going to be interesting to get things around here as well. That the top two, not the top two, but P2 and P3 had the battle we were looking for, the battle we are still looking for, and that is 2.4 seconds, and now just 4 laps to the end of the Grand Prix, and Chris Sniper already on lap 24, just like everybody else, but he so far has been amazing. He's been as dominant as ever, currently in 22 seconds ahead of the driver in 2nd place. Certain bringing the gap to now 2 seconds, but sure that having to overtake that lapped car, Sebo might have helped Certain, but it's going to be amazing. And remember, winning the final round, winning the 1st round in Australia, and he's looking to win the 1st round in Austin as well, but we will have to wait before we are to the end of the Grand Prix. 2 seconds gap between the two, between Sebo and between Sebo and Certain. They're sure trying everything they can. These cars are just amazing sounding, these, but absolutely amazing. So 20th August, that would be in just 4 days time, and that would be, we'll be back again for a race and for a Grand Prix, and that will be at Brazil, in fact, the Brazilian Grand Prix. And then after that it'll be Monza, which will be a sprint race, which was a sprint race last year as well, but this year it would be as well. And the man, the myth. Okay, I'm having a look. No, he's not actually. I thought I was thinking that Chris was behind these guys out on track, but not behind them, of course. As now Certain 2 seconds, he's just maintaining that gap, at least within 2 seconds, but sure, he's not having the pace he would want. And now lap 25 is going to begin, and he's going to go even more quicker. He's nearly putting his qualifying time in the race. It's his fastest lap. This guy is really, really good. I'm sure he's racing other leagues and getting his name around there as well, because he's absolutely dominating around here, and he needs the competition of his caliber. But now 1.8 seconds the gap. That gap shrinks around, and surely Noseb was really not giving that slipstream to him. That I wasn't seeing Penna do that. I think Certain wasn't doing that, but sure Nosebo is. He's not giving any slipstream or any extra time that could be gained by these guys, by the driver behind. So surely he's keeping it around, and interestingly having it out there. So as it stands, it's going to be about Chris Sniper winning by over 26 seconds, but 1.3 seconds are surely Certain turning into really Certain Penner turning into Ayrton Senna at the moment. 1.5 seconds now the gap with lap 25, only 3 laps remaining. I wonder if he's able to do something about it, but maybe a mistake a little. Maybe we really need to pray that Sebo makes a mistake. Again, the gap is to 2 seconds now, as we are just gonna head into lap 26 at the end of this one. That is gonna be a little bit of a mistake that might help a little to Senna though, Penna, I shall say. But we'll see how it stands. Definitely that might not help, but that car, having that car might slow his process that he would want to get ahead far earlier. And there you go, he almost loses that out there. That was a very, very slight mistake, and I think now the gap to Sebo is going to go even more and get bigger. That was going to sink, but that is now going to increase. I think that was not a mistake, but maybe the AI didn't turn to the left earlier, so he would have wanted to turn to the left hand side and overtake it as soon as possible, and that might have backfired, almost losing the rear end and becoming the third retiree of this Grand Prix. But so far, so good. Things have been fine for him. At least he's within 5 seconds. So he's going to get that race. So they get second place. That silver trophy though. Silver place it stands. This man on lap 26, leading by 26 seconds. And is far away. And there you go. And something has happened. And some yellow flag is coming around, and there we go. That is another driver crashing out there in the middle of the track. Maybe not middle of the track, but somewhere around. But we're gonna have a look at these guys now. Certain again getting having lapped the AI. I think he's been overtaken by it, or that's just another one that's not getting overtaken by it though, as we are now around the final corner, for final sector of the circuit for the race leader, going into lap 27. Just 2 more, 27 and 28. He might be able to lead by long, but he's lost the lead actually by a few seconds. That was over 26 seconds, but now currently it is 22 though. And now, but the gap is going to go into lap 27 with a race leading activities. He wasn't leading, I think, at the end of lap 1, but he's led from start to finish, that's for sure. He's had his moments. He in fact had his moments going even more faster, and no, Sebo's time is not going to help him at all. He's going to receive another penalty, and that is going to result in him eventually getting 8 seconds of time penalties, which is not going to help him at all. But I'm sure that is not really going to matter. That is only going to be good for Certain though. He's sure losing a little bit of time. I hear a few mistakes out there, but that time of 5 seconds penalties now has increased to 8 seconds of penalties. So that is definitely going to be what he would have wanted, and that is going to be interesting to get around both of these guys. I think No Sebo really also, I think, lost the position for a bit, but overtook him by a long mile, and that definitely was beneficial for him though, but not in a way actually that doesn't matter. I think in fact not beneficial for him though. He did overtake him again, but by receiving many penalties in over 8 seconds. Of course he was surely quick, but not as quick as 8 seconds, as quick as to be doing 8 seconds. And finally now our race leader that has crossed the final sector once again. That is going to go, he's going to go into the final lap of the Grand Prix now. The man who's led from start to finish, the man who won Season 2. Oh wow, Chris has now got penalties as well. He might need at least, the gap is 22 seconds, so he's going to need at least many of them to even be closer to for the other guys to be a chance at a victory. So that penalty really means nothing at all. But 4.3 seconds the gap that was for these two. is very interesting. So these guys are on lap 27s, but Creeko receives another penalty. He's in P8. He's going to get some points as well. That's going to be interesting for him. But now the 3.8 seconds to gap now, turning 4 seconds as well. Remember, at one point it was about four even more seconds gap between 2 and 3. But Sebo's mistakes has really stopped him in a way. Now he would have probably, not probably at the end of the lap, but would have been still close battle for the podium, for the second place. Had he only had 5 seconds in penalties. But that is not going to be the case around here. And now there, Chris now for still 22.8 seconds. The gap to the leader, that is going to be about 19 seconds. As the penalties applied of 3 seconds, but then Sebo also has penalties as well. So that is going to increase. No way. That is going to increase one way or the other. And there we go, and finally, for the final lap of the Grand Prix, the man who dominated the last Season 2, and is going to start by dominating by a mile in Season 3, and he's having those spins that might have not been deliberate, but sure it is. The man who won the Season 2 driver's title is going to come home to win. He's going to slow down and do a little parade. And the man who won in Australia back in Season 2 is going to win in the United States as well. And Curious Sniper is going to stand tall at the top of the podium here in the United States Grand Prix. There's going to be victory. Another victory for him. And no Sebo is going to come home. He's done a fair share of mistakes, but recovered well. But in the end, having those penalties, he's going to come home to finish second in the United States. But those penalties applying to him, that is going to be P2 for Certain. Certain did everything he could to stop No Sebo, but I don't think he could really. But surely, he definitely didn't make the mistakes by getting those penalties that Certain Knifer did. No Sebo did, and that definitely helped Certain to finish out in second place. And Mr. Creeko with those penalties, the only our driver except the AIs in the Grand Prix now. Sure, it's going to be interesting to get along with him now, the only driver of ourselves. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. It was all good as we'll get better and better week in, week out, as we'll live with another race on Tuesday again. It is going to be very interesting, but this is going to be amazing, as now we're just waiting on one guy and one driver, with one driver now having to finish the race yet. So we are gonna, there we go, it's running on its own. There we go. Nah, Mr. Creeko's of course not running on its own, that was something else. He's now gonna come home to finish in 8th place. Ellie's good job by him, made mistakes, but unlike some that crashed, he didn't, and he finishes in 8th place, just rounding off the final points positions, and that is definitely a deserving applause for him though, for doing a decent job. And Yasaratia, my driver of the day, but definitely driver of the day would be in front of your screens, Creeko. But we're having a look at the podium finishes now. Chris dominating the race, is going to dominate the podium now as well, finishing in first place in that red known suit though, and that Certain is trying to spray some as well in second place. Definitely the top three must have enjoyed their race by an amazing mile. As now Chris is going to start his year with leading the driver's title, and it's going to be as amazing as ever, and that is going to be absolutely amazing around here. Hope you enjoyed the stream, hope you had some fun, really give everything out there. We're going to get better and better, and there is going to be, so we're going to have the post-race interview as well, so don't go anywhere, stay out there as well. So we're going to just be in there in a little bit.
Va bene, sì. No, perché 30 secondi sono ovviamente da troppo. davvero, no, no, è una cosa...
On things on as we're gonna have the post-race interview, so don't go anywhere as we're gonna get on with Chris. We're gonna get on with all the drivers that did what they did. They gave it everything out there. There we go.
Andiamo. Va bene.
And there you go, we're now in here as we're going to chat up with the top three, finishing on a great podium. Let's talk to Chris. Chris, that was a fantastic win for you out there.
Hello, Zabby, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Yeah, so you didn't get quite off the line great. I think lost the lead into turn one, but then took it back very early.
Yeah, I mean the start was not great. I mean the boss really powerful from the start, but also Nocebo was really great at the start. I don't know, he was really fast at that part. And then he took back the lead, yeah, it was I don't know why I never like the race. I mean, we would like to see more action.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure with the more races coming around, we'll see more action and more will-to-will battle between not only the top but the rest of the grid as well.
Yes, I hope so. So yeah, that's basically it for me. And thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Now, Certain, what about that race now? Finishing in P3, getting P2.
Yeah, exactly. It was amazing. It was pretty tough, actually. And I have to praise Nocebo because he was really fast. I couldn't catch him for the whole race. Only once during the race I was ahead of him, but I made a mistake and suddenly right away he took back the position and I couldn't catch him. Fortunately, he got the penalty, so I was lucky for that because otherwise he totally deserved the second place.
Absolutely, and especially while Chris come out of the box, that definitely helped you fighting him a little, keeping you ahead of Nocebo for a little longer.
Yeah, exactly, because he did, I guess it was one lap earlier.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, but it was amazing. I mean, he deserved the second position more than me.
Haha. Yeah, sometimes.
So I don't think he will join for the commentary because he doesn't speak English.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just want to tell him that he's great.
Yeah, sure. So that, ladies and gentlemen, would be it for the live stream, and that was it for the post-race interview. That was, of course, as we heard from our race winner Chris Sniper and Certain Penna finishing in second place, absolutely giving it everything out there, they said. And surely Certain was praising of Nocebo there. Nocebo, of course, not speaking in English, so that is the reason he's not out there for his podium talkings. But sure, that was amazing, and that'll be pretty nice. Hope you enjoyed it. Catch you up right on Tuesday. This was a great